Bear in mind, this was late 2009, and I was only 10 at the time. Me, my mother, and my stepdad lived in a small house in Sweden, in a big house. If you're upstairs, you could still hear talking down in the kitchen, so it wasn't that isolated. One evening, when I was home alone because my mom and stepdad was going to my grandma's house, and I asked them if I could stay home alone, because I was typical 10-year-old. I thought I was grown up for a babysitter. After about an hour of nagging, she gave up and told me I could stay home, only if to keep the door locked and never open it to anyone. It was really exciting for me, and I stayed up really late watching cartoons. If I remember correctly, I was watching SpongeBob in the living room and eating ice cream. After about 5 minutes of eating delicious ice cream, I was sure I heard silent knocks on the door. I didn't think much of it, and I continued watching the show. After 5 minutes passed, and I heard the knocking again. By the time it was louder, I froze in fear and waited for the knocking to stop. After about 30 seconds, the knocking stopped, and with the sound of the TV. I called my mom, and she said she will be home in 20 minutes, and told me to go to my room and lock my door. I went to my room without turning the TV sound off, so it was really loud. I sat in my room. After 2 minutes, I heard somebody knocking, but banging really loud at the door. I was frozen, in fear once again. After about 3 minutes, I could hear the door lock turn and somebody walking in. The person was inside my house while I was home alone. I sat down in my room, quiet, and the TV turned off. The footsteps were louder and it felt like they were coming towards my room. After a couple of seconds, the steps stopped, and I could hear knocking on my bedroom door, and an old man said, "Let me in. I have something for you." I started screaming and crying for my mother, and the man started to shake the door handle. After 2 minutes, I heard a car outside, so I looked out my window. It was my mom. I opened the window and screamed for help, and said there was a man in my house. My stepdad quickly ran to the shed to get his axe, and ran up the stairs. The man quickly ran out the back door, and my stepdad ran after him into the streets. My mom called the police, and my stepdad called me down when he got in. This is an experience I will never forget. This happened about 9 years ago, when I was in middle school. I had totally forgotten about it till my friend brought up yesterday. In 7th grade, my best friend and I would walk down to a family's restaurant after school. It was about 4 blocks from the school, not a long walk at all. Between the school and the restaurant, there was a public park with a playground. All the kids from the school would hang out there. Sometimes, when the weather was nice, we would hang out in the park. If we were there for more than an hour, her uncle would usually come and check on us. We did this for most of the school year. Around March, a strange man started showing up around the park, trying to talk to girls, asking them about school or things they like to do. He did this for a couple of weeks, then disappeared. We never really thought much about it. Then one day, it was just my friend and I at the park, and he shows up. We started to talk to my friend, trying to get him to go with her. She keeps telling me to. He grabs her arm and tries to pull her along. We both scream to let him go. Her uncle was on the way to check on us and heard us scream. We can see him running towards us. He tackles the guy and tells us to run to the restaurant. We go and tell her mom what happened. Her mom calls the cops, but the guy hit her uncle and got away. The cops never find him and told us if anything else has seemed suspicious to call them. So guy at the playground, let's not meet. I went to a boarding school in England for a few years of high school in a super cool old town. My best friend and I shared a dorm. We were about 67 years old and we were on the second floor of the house. We were on exam, study leave, where you do not attend classes. Merely study on your own time for 4 weeks before the final exams at the end of the year. Every day we would wake up late, spend ages getting ready and walk into town to get lunch. Outside our bedroom, across the street, there was a small grassy area and a cluster of trees. The town was hosting an anniversary celebration that week, and there were statues temporarily placed on the grassy area. Many tourists stopped by to take pictures of them. My friend and I opened the curtains and the window because it was a beautiful day. As we was about getting changed, when there was a man in some kind of uniforms taking pictures of the house. With a decent camera, easily able to zoom and maintain focus, which was something new, but prompted us to shut the curtains while we were changing. We walked to the town, and there was the same guy in the grocery store with us. His camera was away now, and he saw us and started walking towards us. We quickly started walking to the other side of the store, where we lost him. We paid at the back entrance and left this way in order to throw him off for tail. We sat in front of the church at the end of the street and ate our lunch, sunbathing and lounging around, before noticing the man was walking quickly in our direction. We ran all the way back to the main area of town, where he was still following us. Neither of us had cell phones, and there was not many people around at the time. He did not bother us again that day, but our house parent mentioned that he was zooming around the house from down the street and had him removed from our campus. The next day, we were careful with the windows and told the house parent before leaving. She followed us 50 stairs behind, and sure enough, she saw him emerging from the side of the street and following us through the town. She ran up to him, but he rather fast into his car and sped away. We never saw him again. I had to think what happened if our house parent hadn't been following us.